So I'm out here spraying weeds at our B&B, trying to get things cleaned up a little bit, poison ivy and whatnot. But when I do things like that, like cutting grass, that's why I love cutting grass and doing chores, because it lets your mind work. You're alone, you're just listening to the birds and the sounds, and your mind's racing. So I'm thinking about, so recently, and he may or may not see this video, but recently we lost a friend of ours, and her husband and son are left behind here. And so I'm constantly on my mind, and I'm thinking about things, and I can only sympathize. I can't, because that's never happened to me. So, but I'm thinking about the emotional and psychological aspect and the mental aspect of the whole thing. And yeah, you want to move forward, but you don't really want to move forward too fast, because you kind of like, it's the whole fear of the unknown thing. You can't fear the unknown. You can't fear something you don't know. But what people actually fear is losing the known. And so, but eventually you have to move forward. And we don't want to do it too fast. There's a process there, especially when it comes to, a death or losing somebody. You don't want to, okay, they're gone, and move on. I mean, there needs to be time to mourn and grieve and work through that and process it. That being said, what I've found is one of the most important things. People are like, well, I gotta move on. I gotta move to something. I don't know what it is or what it looks like, but I gotta move on. So people can get caught up in doing and trying all sorts of things to help move on, but you can't really move on or move to something until you understand what you're moving from. So one of my favorite quotes is, life can only be understood backwards, but must be lived forward. So until you take a knee and sit in it and really reflect, not just on maybe the person you lost or the life you had together, but reflect on the whole thing, your life, all the way back to the beginning, and really try to understand, why am I the way I am? Why do I do the things I do? Who am I? Those are the most asked questions for people who are in the process of growth, the people who are struggling, the people who are stuck. Those are the questions. Who am I? What do I think about myself? So that needs to be sat on before developing a plan. Okay, now I understand who I am, where I come from, why I am the way I am, how I've been living. So now I can sit and kind of lay all the pieces out on the table and start putting a new puzzle, if you will, together. And it's a deep process, man. It takes some, definitely going to take some help, some other people, because people need others to ask those interrogatives: who, what, where, when, why, and how. Because I believe that we all have the answers to the questions we seek within us. Oftentimes we just need that person, that guide, to help draw those out. Because if we have a question and somebody gives us the answer, that's not real growth. What's real growth is asking that question, working the problem, working the trying to find the solution. It's like an algebra equation. Work the equation. My son's in school. He's doing pre-algebra. I can give him the answer. Boom, next problem. But he doesn't learn how to work the problem, because just because a person has had one major event in their life doesn't mean that they're done. So it will best equip them to work more problems in the future. That will come, because that is the growth process of life. So we can't just receive answers. We can't just receive fixes and solutions. We've got to learn through the process of working it. So, yeah, deep thoughts this morning. So, all right, back to work later.